Hi, Capricorn. Welcome, Sun, Moon, and Rising, to the month of September 2024. Wow, you're going to make some success stories happen in your career space this month, but also changes in how you relate to your significant others. That can include your business partners, your spousal type relationships, but certainly also the way that audience, marketplace, and client field operates for you. And by the way, these changes are not just happening in September, but can run through till next April, and I will explain why. So welcome to my channel. If you are new, thank you for checking me out. And I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses, and the fixed stars, minor asteroids are a big part of my approach to astrology. And we'll be talking today, and how to time your best life. We'll be talking today about asteroid Eros and Cupido hooking up with Venus and Jupiter, making for a lovely mid-September glow for everybody. Also, I'm only promoting two things really quickly, so hang in there. You might want them. Learn to be your own astrologer. Time your best life by coming aboard my Astrology Sky Reader course. It starts at the end of September. We'll be going for 6 weeks, and it's live. You have Q&As, coaching calls, a lot of high-touch content and context. What I'm helping you learn to use astrology for yourself. Give them a fish. Don't fish for it. That's the vibe here. And that class is not open to sign up yet, but if you look in the description box below, you'll see the wait list, and you'll see the what do you call it, the course description. And what else can I tell you? Make sure that you check out my sale. I have my 2024 videos, one for each sign and a bundle for all signs, now at less than half price. $14, you get to look at your sign. 33 all signs. You can choose Sun, Moon, and Rising. That's a discount that was more than half price from what I've created for you to understand 2024 for your sign. We still have 5 months left. Those were never public, only privately sold to my followers. So let's get rolling. So first of all, what about the happy news? Let's start with the easy story. And we have the eclipse in Pisces. I almost forgot to mention the eclipse, which is on the thumbnail of the video. And yes, the Pisces eclipse is going to rock you in your third house, world matters. But we'll talk about that in chronological order. First of all, Venus is the goddess of good things, and she's a fairy godmother in your career and reputation space. If you are someone for whom the word public reputation matters, you get in front of people on stages, you have a YouTube channel, you're out there, you want to be noticed, you want to be celebrated, and you want to be popular. Well, this is your yearly time for all of that to be very easy for you to accomplish. And that will be Venus in Libra in your 10th house, August the 29th to September the 22nd. When she's up there, you're also lucky. Favors from the boss, promotions, raises. You're enjoying your work, and your people in your work are enjoying you. So this is a good high noon glow up in the reputation, social status, and workspace for your career, for your purpose, and for your social reputation. So this is your glow up on the yearly. And there's a bit of a dip. We'll be talking about the South Node problem early in September, but otherwise it's incredibly positive. When Venus is at the top of the sky, you are thriving in your exterior version of life, your public story, your visible actions. As well, we can notice that she will leave the sign of your 10th house and move into her detriment in Scorpio. Oh, well, you can't always have Venus in her best place. This is a time, however, where she will increase your desire to socialize, to join, to meet with friends, to connect with an elder sibling, to be more generally enjoying social life and social groups of belonging. She gets to this part of your sky on the 23rd of September, and she stays there until October 17th. We also can sometimes see raises or promotions or financial increase from our work when she travels the 11th house of pennies from heaven, but also money that we make directly from our career. And you get that juicy vibe as well. Did I give you the right date? September the 23rd to October 17th. September 23rd to October 17th. Mars is the big story, the long story, the once in a lifetime almost story. Mars usually goes through the sign of any sign for 6 weeks. However, he will be moving through your marriage and significant business partnership, 7th house, for months, not for, like FOR, for several months. And that's because of a retrogradation here. He starts moving through your 7th house on September 4th and is in direct motion and moving through that part of your sky full bore until November the 3rd. Now, it's a complicated story because he moves on into Leo, but then changes his mind and backs up. And so you end up seeing him back in your seventh house, December the 6th to April the 18th. You're going to end up with a lot of Martian stories going on in the house of those relationships that are important to you. Now, sometimes when Mars is here, we separate from people that we care about. Our business partnership can end or time out, or we can just be apart or traveling apart from or ending a relationship, a long-term committed love. That might be more true for the Capricorn rising than any of the other, sun or moon, because sun is about career and purpose, moon about home and nest, but the Capricorn ascendant is about everything about you. Typically, I've seen a shorter transit like this look like just time apart from somebody you're connected to. So the last short transit of Mars through the Cancer seventh house was last March 28th through to May 21st. So did you spend some time apart from someone you were in a significant relationship with? So again, it's more true for the Cancer risings than the sun and moon, in my opinion. Sometimes Mars is a god of sexuality. And if you're single and Mars is traveling through the seventh, you get really wrapped up in a lot of hot sex. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so did you have a lot of hot sex going on, single, or even in a renewal of sexual energy in an existing love story, the end of March last year to the third week of May? Were you hot in the marriage house with a lot of fun in the bedroom? Maybe that's all that was. But this is a longer stay with a retrogradation, things going in and out and back and forth, changes of direction. So it may be a lot more to do with time apart. Some of you in a troubled relationship, you know it's not right for you, rather than just geographical time out from your partner. You may also no longer choose to be with your partner, or your partner choosing not to be with you. It could be a separation, maybe even only a temporary separation at that, but it could be some time apart. And that includes maybe cutting off, severing, and ending your relationship to your clients, your audience, and your marketplace. Excuse me, I realized I did that in front of you. Sorry, guys, I got really dry eyes. Sometimes certain days they can really act up. And I put the heat on in my house in Vancouver on August 24th because it was cold out there and dry heat is coming out the vent at me. So, sorry. So Mars could mean that you are like truncating, ending, severing relationships with customers or clients and people that no longer are up your alley, that you're no longer interested in connecting with. That's what I would say about that. Ultimately, when Venus moves a little bit later in the month, as I said, into Scorpio from the 23rd to October 17th, Mars does converse with her in a positive way from your seventh house. And that might feel like a lot of energy going around your social groups and social life, and maybe also expanding your significant relationships and new social contacts at that time. But in the meantime, you're just kind of like going to have to tell me what happens, honestly, because that Mars transit is probably not happened for 40 years, where Mars spent 6 months in Cancer. He does do that every 2 years, retrogrades in a certain sign, but he can skip a sign, right? So we'll see what happens. Next, we're going to talk about the archetypal energies of Mercury, the messenger of the gods, as he trundles through 3 signs this September. First 8 days of the month, he's finishing up his 2-month stay in your house of stock market investments, bank loans, mortgages, monies you share with other people, marital shared resources and assets. Mercury would have had you investigating, doing some accounting, looking more clearly, thinking about those monies as well, and going back over old ground about how you handle those other kinds of monies that are not your daily paycheck or weekly paycheck or monthly paycheck. But now he's moved on from Leo, and by September the 9th has come into his home kingdom of Virgo, where he is very strong and very capable and very happy. And that's your 9th house of God, and that's the 9th house of foreign lands and travel. Technically, he's a patron protector of travelers on the road, and you might indeed be urged to travel during that time to far off and foreign and distant shores. Usually, these are not domestic travel opportunities. So Mercury will be in that part of your sky as he does travel there yearly, September 9th to the 26th, and probably some of you will travel. And when he's up here as well, you might find legal matters going well, contractual agreements, judges and court cases being worked on, and things are happening in a way that serve you. He's traveling with the sun. Indeed, it is Virgo season. Sun will be here till about the 23rd of the month, Mercury till the 26th. So for the most part, he's holding hands with the sun. So you end up finding extremely positive things happen with travel, visas, legal and court matters. Third marriages can thrive, things to do with your book publications, publishing deals, things to do with spiritual philosophy and spiritual beliefs. So those are all in a glow state for you. It's a good one for some of you Capricorns who are trying to get into a university and maybe you're waiting for a last minute admission or something, or college. That could really look sweet on you as well. Moving into the next movement, just at the very end of the month, like the 26th to the 14th, so of October. So the last, week or less of September into the middle of October, he'll be in your 10th house, which is really good. This is a career Libra house where you might be able to form new agreements, contracts in business and work matters, get signed up for a new job. If you're in marketing and selling, market and sell like a crazy person. If you're retired, for example, or a student, you're just doing a lot of communication in the visible world. People just see you busy sending out messages, selling, marketing, communicating. For some reason, communications are on the rise in your public reputation space. You might be making announcements to the general public, to your friends and family, to people around you, important announcements, because of a Cazimi that we'll get to, that you're generating from your career house. But if you're looking for work, Mercury up here, especially coming into contact with a Cazimi later, could end up looking like a positive work environment, opportunities, contracts and negotiations, agreements, and deals coming through your sky, September 26th to October the 14th. Well, let's break down the rest of the story in a chronological order through the entire month of September. I do talk fast. You can slow me down on the little icon for the playback speed, or play back this video later, or take some notes and pause, because it's a busy, busy month. First of all, September 1st to the 3rd, we see that Mars in Gemini will square Neptune in Pisces, and this is a story that looks like you might make some kind of change with your travel plans connected to work, or pets connected to travel, or local environment situations, clearing up from difficult confusion regarding pets and neighbors, regarding rental situations and your home and property, if it's connected to which neighborhood you want to live in, travel and communications projects and work projects that were foggy, confusing, you weren't sure what to do next, clearing up if you have that kind of thing going on. Otherwise, also, it's Mars clearing up stuff in a house of sickness, so your health matters may be clearing for some kind of confusion, Neptune, about what ails you. It could be something in your local environment that's not good for you, something that you're experiencing on the daily, and you may have a clarity and a confusion lifted about the thing that was beleaguering your health, and your health could get better, maybe September 1 to 3. On September, and Neptune rules viruses, and just simply you might get a virus. You might get sick with a virus, September 1 to 3. That's all that is. On September the 3rd, Venus will co-join the South Node. Despite her glorious transit through Libra, she hits a rough patch on September 3rd. Give it a few days before and after. Well, hello, South Node. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to surrender? What do you need to release? In your house of career and reputation. It can be a dip in your reputation. You might find yourself embroiled in a bit of difficulty there where your reputation isn't so glowy. But also Venus up there is about your love life in the visible world, and everyone may see, and you may have to acknowledge some disappointment or release or surrender to those people who follow you and track you, and that something about your love or money life is difficult at this time, and other people may notice it as you go through some experience around September 3rd. On September the 4th, the Virgo new moon, the 3rd, 4th, the Virgo new moon is in play. New beginnings in your 9th house. Well, new beginnings that aren't just about the September 3rd timeframe, but rather over the 2 to 3 weeks after the moon and up to the 6 months that follow. New beginnings are in play regarding third marriages, churches, religions, spiritual philosophies, book publishing, foreign travel, visas, passports, all that stuff. Or book publishing or academic settings, new beginnings, new start. For those of you looking to go off to college, it's looking like a new beginning. And it's going to be very interesting to see if that indeed is what you're dealing with. Every new moon up here, it happens on the yearly, of course, will unfold over 6 months. So don't be expecting everything to happen on a day of a new moon. That's not how it works. When we get to September the 6th and September the 7th, we see that Mercury, still in the sign of Leo at this point, not moving into Kingdom Virgo until the 9th. So on the 6th and 7th, he's at the tail end of your chunky money, unearned resources, money that comes from shared money with others. He's there, he's at the tail end, and he's squaring, he's on Regulus, a star of wealth and power, but he's squaring Uranus on Algol, a star of difficulty, but sometimes well. A square means there's a tension here that requires decisions and actions around financial matters. Now, not normally would I say this, but Uranus is in the house of lottery wins and gaming and winning money, and it's a house of good fortune. And he's on the Algol, the wealth star. And this has been highly active since Mars co-joined here July 15th and will be active for the next 2 years. So some of you caps can win money, basically. And with a square to Mercury, the god of news on Regulus in your 8th house, this may not be difficult. This may just be surprising and intense that you may indeed come into some unexpected money. But on the other hand, notes you're working, needing to make some decisions, phone calls or text messages, or take some kind of critical action regarding those stock investment monies and stuff like that. I mean, of course, maybe a speculative stock like a weird crypto or some weird stock a penny stock. I don't know, some stock could take off for you if you have investments, but please be careful of the market downdrafts that may be occurring this fall. Broad market sell-offs, nobody wins in the short term. All right, September 11th to the 13th, the sun squares Jupiter. Sun is sitting in the part of the sky that's that 9th house. I'm not going to list the meaning of the 9th again. You remember that? 9th house is where Mercury is, colleges, campuses, blah, blah, blah. Travel, foreign land travel, visas, book publishing. So the sun is squaring Jupiter. In essence, there's tension. Jupiter is in the house of work. Work and health matters. It could be something like you need to travel for work, but there's a problem. The airlines are down. The flights are unavailable. Or there's opportunity, Jupiter, in the work or health matters of your life, and you just can't seem to get everything to work because sun squares it. There's an authority in the way, the bureaucracy, the red tape, the strike or something. So tension with travel, probably tension with work opportunities, or issues along those lines, or just some kind of obstacle around career matters connected to 9th house stories, and a tension in the sky. Opportunity is meeting with resistance, basically, around the time of September 11th to the 13th. On the 11th to the 13th, co-present, same time, is Mercury up there with the sun, but flowing to Mars, which is powerful good news when it comes to contractual and legal agreements for travel, for professional endeavors that involve travel, from professional contracts and agreements that involve international companies far off foreign places and people from foreign lands. So that is a good flow. Well, Jupiter says, we've got an opportunity with some resistance. We still have Mars saying, here's the legal contract, here's a significant male person who brings this to your table, or there's good news about you and a marriage partner, and it may involve legal matters, court cases, and travel. September the 13th and the 14th is the happiest time of our month. Yay! It's like the 3 of Cups in the tarot. Let's all celebrate that Venus hugging Eros, which is her sun, Jupiter conjunct Cupido, another version of her sun, Eros, passion, falling in love, the spark of life force for both Jupiter and Venus, co-joining these asteroids, flowing to each other. Venus is in your career space. Jupiter's in your workspace. It looks like golden career opportunity emerges in your sky, or golden career glow up and work and career glow up emerges in your life in the middle of September. When I say 13th and 14th, give it at least 4 or 5 days before and after. And that is the nexus of goodness in the month of September for you Cappies. Yay, you. Raises, promotions, new jobs, extensions of jobs, more power, more opportunity, more expansion, work. And Jupiter in your 6th house will give you job opportunities if you're unemployed, or expand the way you have opportunities or job functions. Now, you don't have a job. Okay. What are you doing in the visible world that looks like you're giving something of service and your reputation is glowing and expanding in the middle of September? You win the award. The Board of Trustees gives you the Best Board of Trustees award. You win the highest honor in your golf club. What are you doing, guys, if you're retired? Okay. On September the 17th, the eclipse at 25 degrees of the sign of Pisces in the third house is the first eclipse of a series that begin to expand you in your third house matters throughout 2025, 2026. How do you need to do more travel? How are you yearning to finish that writing project, creative project, communications project? How are you expanding when it comes to your connection to aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings? How are you finding a more destined and expansive growth edge in neighbors and neighborhood environments, even including the possibility of expanding to a new neighborhood? Now, this eclipse is at 25 degrees, pretty close to Neptune, where you've been confused about where your proper neighborhood is. And now you may be getting some clarity as well. The energy of this eclipse is bifurcated. It is an eclipse in Pisces, but it has its nodal connection still in Aries. So both signs are active. North node throughout your fourth house since last year, July through to January of 25, is trying to give you destined shifts in home and homeland and heal the chironic wound about where your true home is. And so there's some essence of shift around home matters. Maybe you've healed some childhood wounds as well of not belonging or not knowing where your belonging is. But this is important because between the third and fourth house energies, it can be moves. So a change of home may be in the works from the eclipse of September 18th. Adds 6 months. You can go a month before, up to 6 months after. I wouldn't be surprised for some of you if you don't move, especially if your Capricorn sun, moon, or rising degree is closer to the end of Capricorn, let's say 20 to 29 Cap. There may be a move in store for you here. Okay. Well, and also the first 7 degrees of Capricorn because of the node. So first 7 degrees of Cap, sun, moon, and rising, or the last 10 degrees of Cap, you're more likely to see this eclipse try to uproot you from a home into a better home, and more belonging home, and more true neighborhood. Eclipses through the third house, north node, expand your urge to succeed and be worldly successful in writing, communicating, marketing, selling, and traveling. And that's the first eclipse that pokes you in that direction. When the eclipse is happening on the 17th, 18th, we see Mercury is also in the mix. He's opposite Saturn, and Saturn is sitting conjunct the eclipse. So there is a kind of pull and push between Saturn and Mercury. I mean, everything takes time with Saturn, and Mercury is the messenger. So some kind of news around home matters or writing projects or creativity coming through the portal of the eclipse from people in far off foreign shores, foreign lands, or to do with legal matters or educational opportunities. But it's difficult and requires patience and perseverance. It doesn't happen to be overnight, but there's some maybe news story coming through the 17th, 18th as well during that eclipse. On September the 19th to the 20th to the 23rd, let's go September 19th through the 23rd, grand Earth trine. Yay. Big energies for prosperity, wealth, and financial success connected to the planets, the sun, Uranus, and Pluto. Sun trines Uranus in Taurus, sun in Virgo trines Pluto in Capricorn. Yes, that's a whole story. I didn't dive into the all signs, it's too deep, but for everybody, Pluto in September has gone back into Capricorn. And there's a whole video I put out today, August 24th, the day I'm recording, that you might want to watch, because for you Capricorns, Pluto going back into your sign for the last time in a lifetime, now through to the middle of November, is a critical turning point. So we see this change of guard for you, where all the deep, powerful lessons you've learned to do with death, to form inherent and intrinsic power, to be a force for evolutionary, divine, transpersonal willpower, Pluto. These stories are coming to a close. And here we have a grand Earth trine. Now, a grand Earth trine with the Sun, Pluto, and Uranus on Algol can bring you a glorious grand finale to do with financial abundance. And if it comes through the money luck corridors of 5 and 9, both bringing luck and prosperity, you're coming into some circumstance that brings financial luck and abundance your way, possibly in small or large ways, depends on your own chart. But look for that financial glow up at that time, or career glow up as well. especially if the career involves matters that you're passionate about. For some of you, this could be very practically, especially with Mercury, news that you're going to be a grandparent as well, which is very beautiful and glowy for you. Again, September 19th to the 23rd. And again, September the 24th to the 26th, Mercury takes the sun spot in your ninth house and does the same damn thing. But that's where you get the emails, the phone calls, the text messages, the visas, the passports, the news, whatever about this beautiful wealth glow up in the Dharma houses of 1, 5, and 9. You're coming into a deeper alignment with your soul's purpose for being here, but at the same time, you're feeling very well resourced and financially successful and materially abundant in this time frame. The fly in the ointment is in the middle of all of that on September 21st and 2nd or so. Venus will square Pluto. Pluto, the god of wealth, Venus, the goddess of money and love. The square will feel gritty, but it's tension from you're Pluto. You're the mafia boss. You're the one who's learned the hard lessons in the last 16 years. You know about death and rebirth. You know about facing your deepest, profound shadow fears. You figured it out. You've worked it out. You've dug to the bottom of the you made your own grave, you buried yourself, and you've already resurrected, right? You know the story. So Pluto is you, and you're squaring off with Venus in the 10th house of reputation, Venus in the 10th house of career, Venus in the very visible top of the sky. You could have a conflict with a very powerful female who you would look up to, who's more of an authority over you, any female. It doesn't have to be a boss. And there may be a big deal of tension about something that needs to be fair and balanced, but also something that needs to be agreed upon, some contractual agreement in love, in money stories, must be forged in the middle of all your good triangle energy. And that again is around the 21st and 22nd of the month. We move forward to the beautiful Mars trine Saturn energy. Who doesn't love that? It's about active forbearance, perseverance, and discipline, creating prosperity and success because your determination brings the success. So Saturn will have moved, is still moving through your Pisces third house. Mars is in your marriage house, your contracts house, your legal agreements house, your business partner's house. So there's a nice feeling here. It could be a really golden opportunity to travel extensively in a longer journey away with the one you're with, rather than separate out from each other. And there may be discussions around that or actions taken to form that travel opportunity September 29th, a week before and after. Like, hey, honey, we're going to spend 2 months in this country. Okay, let's do it. You also may find that some kind of legal contract regarding a writing project or a communications project or a business project gets formed in a very sustainable way, that you know that even though there's a lot of endurance and a lot of follow through needed, it's going to bring a long-term success to you in third house matters. And in that way, it's not just what you do, it's what you don't do. Mars cuts away. So you may also turn down some opportunity because Lord of Time, Saturn says it's not the right time. But whatever's happening on September 29th, the week before and after, we got some good juice from the Saturn-Mars water trine. Use your intuition. Water trines ask us to follow our inner knowing. On September the 29th, Mars conjuncts the Sun and South Node. Remember I told you that Venus did that on September 3rd, South Node Venus in Libra, 6 degrees Libra. Now it's back again in your career house, but it's Mercury, Sun, South Node. New beginnings that are destined. South Node is destiny, but also you'll have to let go of something or to let something new in when it comes to career matters. South Node is one's deepest destiny connected to one's soul. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, and Sun is the divine intelligence. They're all colliding together at 6 Libra in your 10th house of career. Good news is there's flow to strategic Athena in your 12th house of far off foreign lands. And this could be a moment of time to reset something in your career space as a brand new destined beginning. But if there is career negotiations and agreements and opportunities, maybe go back to September 3rd. It may be connected to September 29th. But also know that it could deal with people from far off lands and shores, and needed to figure out the legalese of all of that, because it may not be employment in your home country or by an employer from your home country. If you have a book deal you want to negotiate because some of that Virgo action in the 9th house and Libra's books, then you're definitely looking at strategic book deals and sussing into energy of those negotiations, and maybe some news coming through about them around the 29th, 30th of the month. Yes, some people do book deals. I know people say no one does them. Yes, they do. Publications deals. Yes, they do. And there's a square to Ceres, the asteroid of the Grim Reaperess in the house of you. You know, she cuts and severs with her scythe, as well as she creates crops that are growing. You may come to a critical need to sever or cut some situation in your life. With Mars in the seventh house, it can be a relationship because it's time to let it go. And sometimes just South Node Venus and South Node Mercury is announcing to the world you're getting a divorce. And for some of you, some of this story may be about those turning points as well. And that is all I have for you as a Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of September. Don't forget, you can find out a lot of my content on Patreon. Early access ad-free also involves meeting with me, patreon.com/lunatic astrology. Come check me out there for $5 a month. I give you 2 free courses as a gift when you first arrive. Are you my key to keep it Chiron, the key to purpose, and the synastry? Are you my person relationship course? Those were taught. You get free replay content as soon as you sign up. You'll see that in the pinned comment at my Patreon, the everything you need to know, welcome new members pinnage. You can grab that stuff, leave, and never come back. I don't care. I give it to you as a way to bribe you to test out my Patreon community. Come and go as you like. Sub and unsub. It's all good with me. Thanks for listening, Capricorn. Have a great month of September, because I'll tell you what, October is gnarly. Oh my God. I don't know about October. Okay, bye. Bye, everyone.